Some Like It Hot is a web series that continues to stray further from the light of God. As the experiment begins to conclude, we must turn a blind eye towards the morality of this. Continue to repeat after me. Those running this experiment are professionals, those of which only have science and entertainment in their best interest. Viewer discretion is advised.
I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever known. Don't know where it goes. But it's up to me if I walk alone.
I walk alone, I walk alone. My shallow heart's the only thing that's beating.
Hello everyone. Retired Olive Garden manager here. Back with another episode of Some Like It Hot, the hit international web series where I heat up food and beverages
So you don't have to.
This week, I'm turning the temperature up on things. I know things have been pretty hot here, but you know, we could always scale the heat up to 11, and I think that's what we're gonna do this episode. I grabbed
a couple of foods here of the spicy variety.
I'm actually rather excited and very anxious about them. I think to start, we need to talk about spicy foods and where I reside on them and where you reside on them. While talking with a friend about this whole web series thing, he had mentioned if I ever considered doing an episode based upon spicy items, because the show is called Some Like It Hot, so rather than heating up a food, maybe I should try a hot food in the sense of spiciness. Of course, it had never crossed my mind. All of the good episodes of this series do not come from my own head. Usually there's some kind of outside force who says,
have you ever considered doing this for an episode? And
I'm like, I've never considered it prior, but I will now that you mentioned it. And then I do it, and then everyone loves it. So please, keep stalking me with ideas, because I'm gonna keep robbing them and being successful off of them. In general,
You throw up.
that's not the in general. I like spicy foods. I enjoy the taste of them,
But I don't like the burning sensation. That's not my favorite feeling in the world.
but it's kind of hard to like spicy foods and not like the burn. Of course, I'm a masochist, but I don't like harming myself in the most painful, treacherous way, like burning myself alive through my mouth. You know, I'll be on a date at the local Olive Garden, and I'll be eating my endless salad, and I'll see like a small jalapeno in there, and I'll grab it and crunch on it to impress my significant other. But other than that, I'm pretty weak sauce on the whole spice thing. So I'm definitely looking forward to harming myself with these foods that I've acquired for us today. All of my opinions aside, how do you guys feel about spicy foods? Do you go out of your way to gorge yourself on spicy foods of different varieties, or are you a pussy? Post a comment. Let me know your stance on spiciness. I feel like everyone kind of has a different story they like to tell, where it's like,
oh, I like curry. I like this kind of spicy. I like sweet spicy. I like burning spicy.
Well, talking about spiciness though, a memory just broke out of my subconscious, and I think it's actually worth sharing. In a past life, I did actually go to high school. It was a good time all around. I was super popular. People liked me a lot. I was very outgoing. I remember one day I had General Gao's chicken for lunch. You know, it's just some spicy chicken with some rice. It was the school had prepared it though, so it was like D tier quality. It was bad. Like it wasn't like good. It's kind of to be expected. I got it from the school, so of course it's not going to be amazing 5-star quality, but still, it's General Gao's chicken. I was still kind of disrespected, but I ate it all anyway. Directly after lunch, I had a physical test. It was like basically to tell if you're in shape or not.
Of course, I mean, look at me. A simple eye test can tell you that, you know, I'm in peak physical condition.
But apparently in high school they needed to have you exert your energy and illustrate to viewers that you are able. I started to take this test. I started running miles. I started lifting 1,000-pound weights. I started boxing kids out. It was an intense test. It was only like a 40-minute class period, but I really pushed myself as far as I could go, which I sort of regret now, just because that test didn't mean shit. I wasn't impressing anyone, and I pushed myself for necessarily no reason. After the test, I went to the locker room, like I like to do, to change out of my disgusting, awful, sweat-covered clothing. I started to change and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna throw up, for sure. No denying I'm gonna fucking upchuck everywhere. Changed out of my clothes. I was still optimistic that I could make it out alive. How naive I was. I'm gonna appeal to all of you a little bit. I don't know if any of you can pinpoint the scent of a men's locker room. I can't even begin to describe it. That's what I picture hell smelling like. It's just dude soup smells, like a bunch of sweaty dudes all just piled into this room and had an Axe body spray fight. Like they're like trying to spray each other. It smells like that. It smells like a fucking nightmare is what I'm trying to illustrate to you. So I'm nauseous, I'm shaking, I'm swaying left and right, my skin's turning pale, my eyes are turning green. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna throw up for sure. So I start lurching over a trash barrel, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's throw up time. And some kid, I don't even remember who it was, walked up to me and was like, hey Kyle, when does this class period end? And the second he released the question mark of that question, rice and General Gao's chicken erupted out of my nose and mouth. That meal was not that spicy going down. Coming back up though,
Holy shit, that was traumatizing.
I just remember throwing up and then like
Exhaling heavy and just bits of burning rice pouring out of my nose.
oh my god. I wish I didn't remember this, in all honesty. As entertaining as this story may be, I'm kind of like, fuck, I'm traumatized over this shit. I hope that never happens again. I hope it doesn't happen now. I hope I don't eat these spicy foods and then have it pour out all of the orifices on my face, even my eyes and ears. Alright, now that I've recalled that story that's going to give me endless sleepless nights, let's talk about my trip to the convenience store. For many people, this is becoming their favorite portion of the episode, whether I'm getting
Held up by gunpoint or
getting held by a figurative gunpoint, by social situations that are of the uncomfortable variety. There's no crazy stories today. I'm not, punching out a robber. I'm not the hero that came with the fire truck and put the building out as it was on fire. I don't have anything crazy to report. There is a conversation I did want to have, though, in regards to this convenience store. Do you guys know about loyalty cards? Whether they're credit cards, whether they're just gift cards, whether they're cards that show your allegiance to a brand. How do you feel about loyalty cards? Personally, I don't really have any. When I was younger, I had like a Alpha Chad GameStop, like pro gamer, a card formed out of like solid silver, and I could flex it to all the kids on the playground with me that I was a fucking boss because I had that elite GameStop loyalty card. Other than that though, I never really had any. I don't shop at a certain store enough to warrant it. I don't really fuck with credit cards that much. I have one, but
I don't pledge my allegiance to a business. It's more of like a
credit company. So I've been going to this convenience store probably the last 6 months. I go there on both my days off, and I always get my stuff for these episodes at this convenience store. Never in my life did I know that they had a loyalty card. I assumed that it was a local convenience store, it was shitty, and that it didn't have one. They would just recognize my face and would just have a mutual respect for me, but not give me any benefits. About 2 weeks ago, I went there with a friend. I purchased one item, but I broke out the cash to cover his products as well. And the girl offered the loyalty card to him. I don't know how many times he's gone there, but why didn't she offer it to me? I felt nearly insulted that she didn't offer it to me, especially because she recognized me. She knows who I am.
I'm a pretty well-known guy.
But she offered it to him, and he was like, I'm not here that often, in all honesty.
And I was like, oh, I am. Give me the card.
And the girl looked a little bit traumatized because she realized the error in her ways, and she gave me the loyalty card. I don't know what the fuck this loyalty card does. I've been using it for the past 2 weeks since I've had it. I don't know what it does. The girl said I can use it at other convenience stores of this variety. There's like 2 in existence, but far from the point. I go there, I place my items on the counter, and then they say, do you have a rewards card? I don't know why they never mentioned it prior to me, but now they have been. I flash it, and miraculously $4 or $5 is taken off of the total bill. There's no points attached. There's no specific deals as far as I know. It just erases a portion of the bill, and I don't understand how it works. If you're in the local area and you have one of these loyalty cards and you want to explain its intricate process in the comments, I would appreciate that greatly. And with me not understanding how this card works, there is a whole slew of unintentional awkward situations that arise from it. Last week, I went there. My bill was probably $9. I took out all of the required bills for my transaction, handed to them, but also flashed the card. And then the woman was like, you gave me $4 extra. Like, it had erased that much of the bill that it was only like $5 in total. And the woman had to give me back like $4. And I just felt shitty about that.
I don't know why I felt shitty about it, but I felt shitty nonetheless.
I went there today and got all of the beautiful items present on screen currently. I was expecting that somehow I would remove a portion of the bill by flexing the card. So I was confident in the bills that I had selected that this will cover the amount.
I'm like, hey, don't mean to flex. Do you have a loyalty card though?
The woman scans it. The bill is exactly the same. Not 1 cent is taken off of my bill. And I'm just sitting there looking at the numbers, waiting for them to change. And then they never did. I can't explain disappointment to you better than that.
I was ashamed.
I felt so embarrassed in not understanding how this card works, and then flashing it and having absolutely nothing fucking happen. I guess I've just been lucky these past few attempts that I could just shave off $5 from my total bill. But this time it did fucking nothing, and I looked like an ass clown in the middle of the local convenience store. There was about 3 or 4 other customers, and when they saw the total bill not change after the woman scanned my card, they all started laughing at me. I felt it to be kind of rude.
Also understandable.
Laughing and clapping at me as I hung my head in shame and took all of these awful fucking items out of the store.
End of story.
I really wish I understood how this card worked, but I'm also not going to do any research in trying to figure it out. If one of you want to figure it out, by all means, have at it. Alright, now that we've gone over my unending awkward social situations, let's talk about the products that we got this week and kind of the theme attached to them. This first item is Paqui. I don't know the pronunciation. I feel very sorry for butchering it. I should have done research prior. Paqui Haunted Ghost Pepper. Real peppers, real heat chips. These are like corn chips.
We're bringing the heat, and it hurts so good. Do you dare?
And there's a little like graph on the back from not hot to kinda hot to hot to super hot to freaking hot to fucking hot. And yeah, the scale is all the way at freaking hot. There's a little warning on the back here too that says, warning, it's freaking hot. An insane amount of ghost pepper, even more ghost pepper. The heat is real. I'm not feeling good about this. I thought it would be a cute little episode to try some hot foods, but I'm pretty confident ghost peppers are like lethal to humans. I'm pretty sure if you ingest like half of one, you just die on sight. Like your body just gives out beneath you. I'm not looking forward to this one actually. The other one might be a cute little snack, but I think this might be the item that puts me into cardiac arrest.
Oh boy, I can't wait to just fucking die.
Alright, and then its competitor in the blue corner is Fire Tortilla Chips from Taco Bell. This is fucking dumb. I don't know why Taco Bell is making chips. I know Taco Bell has some sort of cultural significance in terms of the real world, but they don't need to be doing this. They can make cute clothing or furniture that you can buy for way too much on their website, but they don't need to be making corn chips. Let's read the back. Introducing Taco Bell's new Fire Tortilla Chips. If you're not afraid to be bold, then I'm the one for you. I'm crispy, crunchy, and full of fiery flavor that will rock your world. Simply put, I'm fire. Dare to dance with me?
Yes, I do, you fucking nincompoop, you Nimrod.
This is going to be like weak shit in comparison to the ghost peppers. This is like a nice little snack that 8th graders would have before going to the mall or going to the library. Like they would grab this at their local convenience store and
Talk about TikTok. I don't know. I'm old as shit nowadays. I'm not even really that old, but I feel old.
And for a third item, I grabbed this as kind of a joke. It says bowl noodle soup, hot and spicy flavor by Nong Shim. How do you guys feel about ramen and noodles in general, like microwavable meals? Do you guys like them? I really like myself a good like bold ramen. I don't like cup of noodles. I fucking hate cup of noodles. I don't know if that's a hot take. People have told me it's a hot take. Wait, some like it hot take on a hot episode? Who would have thought? I think it's a rather hot take to say I fucking hate cup noodles. I don't really like them. I like rather just making them on the stove or making them with a Keurig. Just anything else over cup noodles. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with this. I think I might just find the vessel that contains the hotness and just purge it into my mouth.
That sounds fucked up. I'm sorry.
I'm just reading the back here. There is a
Noodle texture graph.
It goes from al dente to medium to soft, and it gives appropriate microwave instructions on how to prepare each of the noodle textures. That's fucking commitment. I don't know who Nong Shim is, but props to them. Good on you for going above and beyond for all noodle texture purposes. I'm sorry I really don't have a beverage to heat up this week. I figured the 3 different foods would be enough for you fucking maniacs. I do have some Gatorade. I've just been drinking it progressively throughout the episode to keep my anxiety from going through the roof and to keep me from sweating. I sweat very easily. I fucking hate the summer months. I think with just about everything in terms of heat, whether it's temperature, food spiciness, or food temperature,
I don't like being in hot places. Like, I can appreciate them a little bit, but holy shit, I don't like sweating. And it's something that I'm constantly doing, which just adds fuel to the inner fire of self-hatred.
was that a joke or was that real? The world may never know. To help combat the flames, I also have like a teaspoon of fucking milk left. I know that when you're eating hot things, people usually want milk. So, this milk is gonna help me through this difficult time. I think to start, I'm gonna check out what's going on in this bowl noodle soup situation.
Ooh, it
smells like noodles. Shocker. I know. That was a pretty good fucking launch. I'm guessing this is the hot and spicy. On the inside here, you should have a little bit of a brain situation going on. The noodles should be a big fucking cluster full of fake vegetables. Have you guys ever just taken a bite out of just some noodles? I can't say I ever have. Post a comment if you've ever just taken a bite out of hard noodles. I just did, and I don't know who needs to hear this, but this will change your life. I'm actually, I'm shocked. This is surprisingly good. The hard noodles get my positive review. See, we're still making something out of this episode. We're still doing interesting things, and I bet nobody's ever just tried hard noodles before. Oh, it's like a powder. I thought it was like a liquid.
Ooh, a little bit of Asian zing. A little bit of Asian zing, am I right?
I wish there was a much easier way to extract these fine powder. This is tame. This shit's easy. I'll dump the remainder of it right on the noodles for you guys. Alright. Doesn't that look appetizing? Alright. I'm gonna let it marinate on the noodles real quick. Here, let me catch a bite. Yeah, wish me luck. Easy. You guys are gonna hate me, but I really liked that. I feel like in the future I could realistically do that again. Like I could break open the container, say fuck the water, pour the seasoning right on the noodles, and just
Go to town.
that was surprisingly pleasant. I'm gonna be frank with all of you. I am shocked at how positive that initial test was. Alright, time to try these stupid fucking Taco Bell chips. Oh, these smell terrible. I don't know who's making food haphazardly without thinking that the smell is an important part of the food. People are just releasing foods with whatever smells they want, thinking they can get away with it.
I'm gonna hold them accountable in the court of law.
I turned on a light to make things extra hot in here, just because I'm not suffering enough sweating in my apartment by myself. Let's give these chips a good old taste test, am I right? Before we do, how do you guys feel about Taco Bell? Be honest with me. Do you guys like Taco Bell? Would you wear Taco Bell related clothing, like themed clothing? I think I would, in all honesty, and I don't even like them that much. I like Taco Bell quesadillas. I know I think the second episode I mentioned my love for Taco Bell quesadillas because they're fucking awesome.
They're pretty cheap, they're easy, they're always good. If you're ever going to Taco Bell, don't know what to order 3 quesadillas. You'll be set for the rest of your life.
These chips are painfully red. I don't mean to just keep shitting on the Taco Bell chips, but I wish they would make a good product, am I right? Are you fucking serious?
This is lame.
I'm sorry. Where's the heat in these? Call up Taco Bell. Hello? I'd like to speak to whoever's in charge of the fire corn chips. Tell him he's a pussy. Click. No joke. These are less spicy than the seasoning on the
Noodle Soup Bowl.
These suck.
It's been a good while since I felt disappointment like this. They're flimsy, they're weak, they lack flavor, they lack punch. At first I crunched down on the first one, and I thought, oh, there's a lack of flavor because it's gonna make up with the heavy spice, the heavy burn in your mouth. And then there was nothing.
I wouldn't even eat these casually as a snack. Like, that's the biggest offense I could say to these items. Like, they think they're hard shit and you're like, eat one and you'll start sweating. But like, I would eat these for breakfast. These shits are easy. I don't know what kind of bitch-made food reviewer Taco Bell thinks I am. Not me though. No pussy to be found here. Especially because people don't like me. I was just gonna place this delicately on the counter. It doesn't even deserve that. I'm gonna throw it into the odd corner of this little kitchenette. I'm just gonna spike it into there just because it doesn't even deserve my respect. The product's not gonna respect me and it wants my respect back. No, that's not how the show works. You earn respect on something like it hot. You get held accountable for your shitty fucking corn chips, Taco Bell. Taco Bell, you're about to be on my shit list. No pun intended. Fuck, that's disappointing. I'm gonna grab some Gatorade to remove the flavor from my mouth, what little flavor there was. Hey, you guys want to see something cool? I'm gonna shotgun the remainder of this milk in front of your very eyes. Can I get a go chant in the comments of people going, go, go, chug, chug, chug? I am
Buff as fuck. Milk gallon number 2.
I'm not gonna shotgun this one because that's the only little bit of milk I have left, and I don't want to waste it. Should we get to the main event? I have both my fingers and toes crossed that this does not disappoint me as much as those. I'm not even gonna name them. You know the item that disappointed me this episode. I hope that these don't follow suit.
Ooh, that odor. It's very pungent odor.
The smell of these chips is suffocating my nostrils. Lord knows what it's going to do to the rest of me. I'm trying to think of a question to stall time before I eat one of these. Post a comment. What questions should I be asking during these episodes? Have I ever been scared on this show before? I know like sometimes I make foods that I'm not excited about or that I'm grossed out by, but have I ever been terrified? I'm quivering in my boots at the sight of these Pequi haunted ghost pepper chips. This is gonna be easy. I can already tell. Easy. So easy. Couldn't be easier. I don't want to say I'm disappointed, but I'm more proud of myself that I'm triumphant in this battle against. Ooh. All right, it's catching up with me. I coated my tongue in the chip, and now it's burning. Ew, did somebody say triumphant? I didn't. Whew, is it getting hot in here, or is it just me? Alright, I'm gonna put this chip back. I was so excited to crush another one, but the first one was clearly not done with me. I did the smart thing of when you're eating spicy foods, and I chewed it thoroughly, coated my entire mouth in the chip, in the spices. I'm not gonna itch my eye. I'm not gonna itch my eye. I itch my eyebrow, not my eye though. I know better than to do that.
Is it milk time? Do I really need the milk?
Please, dairy gods, save me.
Funny enough, milk tastes that relieving every time I drink it. Milk is the big savior of this episode. It wiped out all of the burning. It was the firefighter in my time of need. Thank you, milk. How many ice cubes should I put on my chip? Follow-up question, do any of you put ice in your milk? I'm not going to say sometimes I do, but I might. Sometimes I'll put ice in my milk and people will say,
Doesn't that water it down?
just drink it fast enough and it won't water it down, but it also keeps it chilly. It keeps it, comfortably cold.
Any milk drinkers in the audience?
Alright, I should eat another chip. Because I still haven't conquered the first chip. Let's try a second.
Easy.
To help close out this episode, I'm going to do what I usually do and read the back of a film for your entertainment rather than the whole Snapple thing. I think to keep it entertaining though, I'm going to eat one of the ghost pepper chips and then I'm going to try to read the entire back of the film for you. Sometimes my genius just supersedes me. The film that I perfectly got for us is called The Burning.
It's a slasher classic.
It stars Jason Alexander. Many of you don't know who Jason Alexander is by that name, but it's actually George Costanza. And it's a very young George Costanza, but when you see him in the film and he's like being all flirty and like having sex with women,
It's weird.
when you look at young Jason Alexander, you just see George Costanza, regardless of his age. You just see George Costanza.
He looks like a total perv at this summer camp.
Haters will say it's fake. Here comes the chip. Oh, this one's loaded with shit. Gather around the campfire to die. A group of summer camp pranksters get the scare of their lives when they target the camp's creepy caretaker. Then he takes bloody revenge. Gruesome and stomach-churning, this terrifying tale is a brilliant slasher flick and gory as hell. After a cruel joke goes awry, severely burning him and subjecting him to 5 years of intensive, unsuccessful skin graft treatments, Cropsy is back at camp and ready to wreak havoc on those who scarred him. With his hedge clippers in hand, he terrorizes the camp and systematically mutilates each victim. Can a few courageous campers save themselves and destroy the demented madman before he kills them all? Oh! Starring Brian Matthews, Leah Ayres, Brian Backer, Larry Joshua, and featuring the early film appearances by Fisher Stevens, Jason Alexander, and Holly Hunter. The Burning is a grim and nasty movie that gets under your skin. That was surprisingly easy. I thought the chip would hinder my synopsis a lot more than it did, really. That being said, I'm not doing well. My mouth is on fucking fire. I'm not gonna drink the milk. No more milk. I've drank more than enough milk in this episode. Enough milk for the milk boy, am I right? I think this is where we're gonna wrap things up here. I recognize things might be a little shorter than last week. Last week was a marathon of an episode. It was like nearly 40 minutes. That was wild. I don't know how it ended up that long. I had a lot of shit to talk about. If you want me to rank the items, I would say the chips that I'm not gonna talk about are bottom. You know which ones are on the bottom. Don't even pretend to not know. I would say the ghost peppers are a novel idea, but never in my life would I just be munching on these normally. It's like a cool challenge to show to your friends and to prank people with, but never would you just casually be snacking on these. I would put those at number 2, and then number 1 is the bowl noodle soup or noodle soup bowl, whatever the fuck it's called. Even in its primitive state of just the ingredients.
God damn, I really liked it.
To end this episode off, I'm gonna crunch another one of these ghost pepper chips like it's my job. If you like this video, definitely slap the like button. If you didn't like this video, slap the like button anyway. You won't. If at all in this video I prompted you to comment, please do as I say and comment. Your comments mean the world to me, and you'll never know how much they make my day. You don't comment at the prompts that I give you. Feel free to just comment random shit. Put the entirety of the DK rap down in my comments. I don't really care. Just go wild. Please subscribe to me. I put myself through pain on a weekly basis, and I think it's somewhat entertaining. 17 other people would agree with me. Why don't you join them and subscribe to my channel? If you're watching on Instagram, please find my YouTube. I'll show a picture on screen. Go find my YouTube. Go subscribe to me there. That's how you really support me, you frauds. Do not make the same mistakes I do. If you haven't seen the film Street Trash, please watch it. If you haven't seen The Night Beast, The Suckling, or even The Burning, definitely check them all out. All of the movies I recommend are bad, but I still recommend them because they have a soft spot in my heart. The Burning is an actual good movie though. If you like slasher movies like Friday the 13th, you'd like The Burning a lot. I like The Burning, but I don't like this Burning. I love you all. Have a good night.